The title is Inevitable by Sakura Girl 25.
Warning.
The warnings? Fluff. Disclaimer, I don't own Superman or Batman. That is the privilege of DC Comics. Cuddle. To lie close and snug to nestle. Chapter 1. Most people, lovers, enjoy cuddling every now and again, and Bruce could accept that. Cuddling was a common occurrence between partners after all. He had, however, long realized that Clark Kent loved to cuddle, as if it was a national pastime. He was quite demonstrative around the manor or at his apartment, but when they got under the covers, the Kryptonian did not fall to impersonate adhesive. The first time Bruce had gruffly commanded to be released, and Clark had done so rather promptly, he growled out that he loathed being cuddled like some stuffed toy. Clark had pouted, but had listened to Bruce, though that was the end of it. Boy, he had been deceived. I hate reading out loud. All subsequent nights were spent the same. He would fall asleep, Clark free, awaken to the Kryptonian draped around him like a living, breathing blanket. He would then elbow him and wiggle only to wince when the grip tightened, and his Kryptonian blanket would whine as he slept. Irritated and put out, he would rudely rouse the other man. Still halfway asleep, Clark would stare at him as if he had no idea what was happening, and after excessive nuzzling would release him. It was the same every night they spent together.
It might be.
But can't he just like and break?
I think you're putting too much thought.
Bruce wakened in his large bed, instantly noticing that he wasn't swathed in Kryptonian. That may be my favorite sentence yet. He smiled triumphantly. After countless disagreements about Clark's nerve-grating affinity for cuddling, he finally had his way. He'd won. His self-satisfied smirk grew. He loved winning. He snuggled his head into his pillow, looking forward to falling asleep without fighting his way out of Clark's bear hug.
I just pictured that in my head.
We all pictured that at the same time. That I'm sure if you watched this back, you were able to see it in my face. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay, pull it together, man. He closed his eyes, riddled adrift into his much-deserved rest. Sleep would not come. His brow knitted. After counting sheep, because Batman counts sheep, those sheep Gotham deserves. It's just sheep jumping over gunshots. Martha. Okay. Whew. I ain't even halfway done. After counting sheep, working advanced math problems in his head, and fluffing his pillow, he still... Why would he do math? Where's the Joker? Where's the Joker?
God damn it, Joker.
Oh. Also, if it's nighttime, he would be Batman right now. Bruce Wayne sleeps in the daytime, which means this is all incorrect. Taking the day off. 20 people died in Gotham, and
Nightwing. He's like
a bank robbed. Jesus, the fucking sheep sentence again. After counting sheep, working advanced math problems in his head, and fluffing his pillow, he still remained awake 15 minutes later. It was like the Sandman, not that he believed in such childhood nonsense. He decided to amuse himself by giving him a bad case of insomnia while his body was exhausted. The covers rustled when Clark moved in his sleep. Bruce looked over his shoulder at the sleeping Kryptonian. A twinge of lodging when he promptly squashed with extreme prejudice pricked him. No fucking way. He knew why he couldn't sleep, but he refused to acknowledge it because the reason was ridiculously absurd. The reason he couldn't go back to sleep was because he was so used to being in the other's embrace. Feeling Clark's breath tickling down the crown of his head. No. He was not going to cuddle up with Clark like a 2-year-old. He was Batman, damn it. He could fall asleep on his own. He did not, repeat, he did not need Clark to fall asleep. It's the silent chuckles. I'm trying to dramatically read it, too.
It's really funny.
He looked over at the Kryptonian's back, able to discern the muscle definition of the moonlight. You know, because moonlight has muscles. Clark did look enticing and warm. I'm sure he did. Henry Cavill's a hunk of a man.
Yes.
An hour later, Bruce was still wide awake, listening to the howling outside of the window. Great. It was probably blowing in a blizzard. His exhausted body begged for sleep even though it eluded him. He was frustrated. After all the instances he had scolded Clark for cuddling him, he actually missed it. It was both ridiculous and understandable at the same time. After all, when two people have been lovers for about a year...
What? Where did that come from?
Let's just casually drop that they're fucking.
Okay.
After all, when two people have been lovers for about a year, it was common to be accustomed at their partner's idiosyncrasies to the point of dependence. His frown turned into a tired yawn and he blinked, turning to his side to face Clark's back. God damn it. Clark had gotten under his skin, and now he couldn't even sleep without being nearly smothered every night. Ridiculous. God, he's fallen far, but he's considered it little consequence. His face brightened. Clark thrived off contact much more than him. Initiating a cuddle session, though uncomfortable, would prove beneficial to his lover. Therefore, he would do this for Clark's sake no matter how uncomfortable it made him. He conceived himself with reasoning, although another part of him slightly begged to differ. He frowned deeply, staring into the easy ride and fall into Clark's broad shoulders, figuring he might as well cross the Rubicon. Bruce stealthily warmed his way to his lover. He snuggled up to the slumbering Kryptonian, body sighing at the all-too-familiar skin glancing against his chest. Despite misconceptions, Clark's skin was amazingly soft and smooth.
Oh, that's sexy.
It's part of the lotion that gets hot and cold at the same time.
Oh, dude.
Clark shifted and mumbled incoherently before turning to face him. God, he hoped Clark didn't wake up. His hopes were dashed to pieces when Clark jerked silently and the eyes fluttered open. What? He mumbled drowsily. Shit. He was caught. It took a sleepy Clark all 2 seconds to realize Bruce had initiated the present cuddle fest. Bruce looked directly into those azure eyes twinkling into the moonlight and growled, "Don't say a word."
Oi.
Wasn't gonna. The chuckle in the reporter's voice infuriated him. He snuggled close, nesting his head under the lover's chin, and nuzzled the other's neck. His heavy eyelids gradually began to close as sleep beckoned to him. "Bruce," Clark said quietly. He enfolded his lover in his arms, caressing his back gently. "Huh?" He slurred drowsily, eyes now closed. "You're a stubborn teddy bat."
Teddy bat?
Teddy bat.
9.
Never heard of a teddy bat?
That's weird.
Bruce scowled tightly. He would kill Clark in the morning for that statement. Right now, he was going to sleep. However, he drifted into sleep. He couldn't help but think about how, a year after being together, that it was inevitable that some of Clark's penchant for cuddling would rub off on him. Chapter end.
So, with that being said, what did you think?
You're a little teddy bat. You know, the last sentence said he would kill Clark in the morning. Didn't we just stop talking about Batman killing people.
Well, he's gonna kill him, and then he's gonna say Martha, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, sorry, you can't do Coyote."
I got this kryptonite spear. Oh, wait. As I gazed into those Kryptonian eyes, I knew that our mothers have the same name, and it was oddly enticing. Even though I knew that I could look straight into his eyes and he could shoot a blast that could explode my head in seconds, I just knew that Kryptonian was the man for me. That was all improv, motherfucker. Hello, everyone. I'm Jimmy Gibutosi. Please keep watching Uptown Strangers and listening to it, and don't let this ruin your Uptown Strangers experience. And I'll be on the podcast soon, probably.